Hello and welcome to probably the most random tier list I'm ever making in this channel. And it's been a while since I've done a tier list, and I wanted to practice my English a little bit. And today I picked a really niche topic, which is the soap opera Days of Our Lives. And to give a little context on what I know about the soap, it's like a very, very, very old soap. It started in the 1960s, I think, and it's still airing nowadays in 2025. And I did not watch like all the way back because I wasn't even born. So I started watching, I would say, in 2012, 2011, but I've seen a lot of bits and even complete segments of the 90s and even in 80, 84, 85. So I have a fair knowledge of the characters and the whole plot. It's a kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. It's not popular at all in my country, so I wanted to give a bit of my thoughts on the characters and the storylines, and what's a better way to do this and talk about something that I truly love than doing a tier list. And I had this template on the tier maker. It had a bit of characters, like it had two different tiers to makers, one of male characters and one of female characters. So I decided to port all the female characters into the male characters, and then I added a lot of characters that are recent. This tier is pretty outdated by now, and I'm not ranking all the characters like all the characters, because I don't even know all the characters. There are like hundreds of characters probably. Some characters appeared in small plots in the 90s, in the 80s, in the 70s. So I there's no way I'm going to be able to rank all of them. I don't even have anything to say about a lot of the characters. So I'm just including the characters that I know about and I've watched at least a bit, and that I have something to say. I have an opinion of. And there's like a little bit like these few characters that were in the tier list, and I don't know who they are, or I don't have a strong opinion. Like I think I've seen this one, but I I don't think I've ever watched any episode. So overall, this is my idea, and it's a bit complex, and I know this video will be very long. So well, let's get going. I'll try to be a bit faster in the characters that I don't have strong opinions about. And the tiers, I created a bunch of tiers because I have no idea what tiers I'll be really using, but I'm guessing that I'll need to separate a bit more because there are so many characters. And I don't know if I'll really follow like the order here. I'll just, I don't know, pick the characters that I want that are easier to place first. So the ones that I'm from the top that are very easy to me, it's Sonny Kyriakis, and Will Horton. For the people that know me, these characters are like one of my favorite characters all time, from anything, any TV series, any game and book, anything. I started watching Days because of them, and it's because of them that I knew Days. I saw a bit of clips and gifs of them as a couple in Tumblr in 2012, 13, and I absolutely adore them. I think they're really cute. I think their actors are perfect. They had like perfect chemistry. I really enjoyed their run from 2012 to 2014 when the Will actor changed. That that golden era for Days for me is like the best go best Days era. I watched their episodes from this era like a thousand of times. I think I know all the scenes, everything, And yeah, they are my absolute favorite couple, favorite characters. I have nowhere else to place them than with Stan. And I know that Sonny has a new actor, which is Zach Tinker, and I adore him as Zach Tinker. I think he gave the character a somewhat different treatment and a fresh start, and I really liked it. But I still prefer the original original actor for Sonny, and that's it for them, I think. I'll probably talk a bit more about them later. So, regarding them, we have Paul, which is another gay character. He is like he was briefly a pair of Sunny, and then he was briefly a pair of Will. And I really love Paul. I think he's a great character, great gay representation, but he's not as high as Sunny and Will for me, but I still really enjoy it. Most people hate his relationship with Sunny. I particularly don't hate. I think it was cool, and I was not that big on Will and Paul, but I was not a hater. So it's like a mixed bag in relationships, but there is his current couple, which is Andrew, which is somewhere here. So Andrew is like engaged, I think. I don't know. I don't think they've married yet. I'm not sure, but he's engaged with Paul, and I think I've not watched a lot of Andrew particularly. I recently stopped start watching again. I stopped watching 2024, and then I started again like in April of 2025. I'm not sure, but I did not manage to catch a lot of Andrew, and but I saw him in the Beyond sale, and I thought he was really cool. And I saw a few of his scenes with Paul when they reconnect, and I think they are a really cool couple. I think they are have great chemistry. Yeah, but I still think he's a bit of a bland character. I not exactly bland, but I'm missing. Maybe if I watch more of him, I will get some more connection. But he feels like to me like a corporation kind of character who does like all the paperwork in some whatever thing, like the which is something that Sunny kind of got in a few of his plots, and when he's like the chief of the Kyriakis, whatever. And I'm not particularly fond of this kind of narrative. And Andrew, I think, is somewhat like this kind of character. He hasn't done like much of like funny things and some more wreckage plots and more like rebellious plots or I don't know angst. I don't know. He's like there as a character. But maybe I just need to watch more of him. I don't know. I'm not sure. And since we were already talking about like the gay characters, I'm gonna like place them gay characters, which is easier for me. And we have Leo Stark. I think it's a bit of a controversial take, but I really like Leo Stark. He was a total villain to Sonny and Will. He like blackmails Sonny to marry him, but I think he's like just a fun, flamboyant gay character. We that is very much on the selfish gray area. Like he had some kind of redemption arc, but he's still bad, and he is very selfish, and he's like not very reliable, but he still has complexity, and I just think he's very fun to watch, and I've quite enjoyed most of his relationships. He had like multiple gay relationships, and I pretty much enjoyed all of them. I just recently got to watch his relationship with Dimitri, which is something that I did not watch when it was airing. I had stopped watching. I saw Dimitri in the Beyond Salem, but I stopped watching because Will and Sonny had left the show. So I was like, I don't know, I'm not feeling it, and I just dropped. And I had no way to watch till recently, and whoa, I completely love them as a couple. I think it's like a bit of a hot take. I think most people hate their couple. It seems like people disliked Dimitri overall, and people don't seem to really love Leo like they love Paul, like they love Sonny and Will. But I particularly really like Leo. I think he's super fun. And another couple, which was Sunny's couple, and then he turned out to be like a super villain, is I think it's Evan, but he had like another name that I don't remember. And uh, I think this is like my least favorite plot of Will and Sunny. This pairing was very weird. I don't think I really hate him. I think I place him okay, maybe indifferent. I think it's more indifferent. Like I don't hate, but it was really shallow for me and really like bland. They had some sort of chemistry, I think, but yeah, I'm not a fan of his character, and he was made like this. He was written like this because later on he turns out to be like a stupid villain that, well, led to nothing. He's like, I don't know what he's doing right now. I think he's in jail. I don't know. Really bland character. And for the gay characters, we have Heavy, and we have Dimitri, and we have Craig. Well, Craig is like the the weirder character because he was like a vintage character from the 90s, 80s, I don't know. And I did not knew the character. He was written out of the show, and he was rewritten in to be a Leo pair. And I really liked Craig. I thought he was like really cute. He was like a silver hair daddy, and I've just watched his interactions with Leo and his this plot that he was fine now he was gay. I know a lot of people hate this plot because they thought it was unnecessary, and Craig had a wife and a daughter, and he was like a full fleshed out character from the past that they just trans like out of nowhere transform him in a gay married token, which was a bit weird, but I still liked it. I'm a sucker for gay characters, so I would like him unless he was like really bland, like even like Evan. I think he was really cute with Leo, but yeah, Leo was an asshole to him, which is a shame. I think they had real good potential, but people just did not like him. And I know that the actor probably wouldn't want to stay longer on this plot line. It was also very weird with his wife. I think his wife did not deserve this suffering, and the plot overall was weird for her. Yeah, I still love him. I think it was a character. If in the past, if I probably watched, I would really like him because I really liked him when I watched it, when in his plot with Leo. And Javi, well, Javi is very bland for me. He's like, I don't think he's as bland as Evan. I think Evan is even a bit more interesting, but I just think he had so little screen time. Javi had a bit of more plots going, and he's recent, of course, but I think he has chemistry with Leo at least. But yeah, I don't like his character. I think he's very bland. I think okay is like the best I can give him. Maybe if they write something for him, like make the character just move things. I don't know. And he's like from the Hernandez family, and it's a family that I quite like. I I'm not like the biggest fan, but I quite like, and it's a shame that he's like the gay character and he's bland. Well, and now we have Dimitri. Dimitri, I absolutely adore Dimitri. I think he's like a great villain. He is, of course, a villain, but he is written at the same time as a villain, and it has something going on that's more complex. I think he reminds me a lot of when EJ was well written. Like EJ is a character that I absolutely adore. I can even place him here. He's like one of my favorite characters back in the show when he was played by this actor that I don't remember the name. His new iteration is okay. I don't hate the actor. I don't particularly like what they did to the character, but when he was like with Sammy, he was like so good. I think he was the best like type of villain character. He's like the best iteration of Demera. He's like the perfect gray villain, and he's like very similar to Dimitri for me. But I think he's like mainly the actor. He nailed that being a bad character, villain character that oftenly you'll be like wishing that he succeeds, and you like really shipped him with Sammy or whomever he was. Like he's like very good, very well written. While Dimitri is on the same level, but of course I think people didn't like that much of Dimitri, and especially I think people because he was paired with Leo, which is a character that is not as loved. I think people don't really like his plot, but I really liked it. I think he's absolutely a bad character. Like he's a evil character, not bad character. He's an evil character, and I quite like that he's an evil character. He is a very good pair for Leo. I think that he was written out of the show probably because the actor did not want, or because of the the watchers, the whole Days community did not really like him. But if he would stick it longer, I think he would be like the Leo couple, more than Heavy, more than Craig. He was really good. They were like a really good bad couple. Like they were really good gray area couple. Two characters that were evil. They were evil. They were really selfish, but they loved each other. So yeah, I really wish that we got Dimitri back sometimes in the future. I think it probably won't happen, but who knows? I really like him, and I think these were all the gay characters that are here. I can then place some characters that are easier. Let's go with a woman from now. So, where is Sammy here? So Sammy is like one of the easiest for me to place too. She is, aside from these three, maybe she's even I even prefer her over EJ. I don't know, but she is my favorite character, and mainly because she's like that home, like that really bad mother, but she's still really caring, and I really like the that she is a wreck of a character. She's like a completely random, and you can't predict what she'll do. Most of the time she'll be selfish, sometimes she'll not be selfish. She will always try to do the right thing, but the right thing for her is not always the really right thing for everybody. She done really weird things, and that's the reason why I really liked her with EJ, because she wasn't. I think she's like a good character. Like she's on the good specter. She's not a villain, but she done really bad things. She like double crossed so many people, and And like when Will was killed and he was brought back, and she like was trying to make Will remember because he had amnesia, and he was killed by was assassinated, murdered by one of the characters that I'll probably talk later. And she hired like this same person that killed him, the necktie killer. She hired him to pretend to kill him again. Like, what mother would do like this kind of stupid thing? Like hire the murderer of her own son to pretend to kill him again. So maybe the trauma of the murder will like trigger the memories and make the amnesia go away. Like this is like really shady thing to do. So I think the complexity of the character, like she being like on the gray area. I quite like gray area characters, and but she's still like good, like on the good spectrum. Like she's not an evil character, and I really like her. I really like her. And when she was with EJ was my favorite pairing, and I don't like her with Lucas, which is I will already place him. And yeah, I don't like her with Lucas, and I don't particularly like when they read for her, like when she was trying to take the baby from Ellie. The Yeah, the writing was a bit weird sometimes, but I've seen like a few episodes, like complete episodes from the 90s, I think, when she was pregnant of Will, and she was like marrying the I don't know who she was marrying. I don't even remember who she was marrying, but she was marrying like a guy, and she was like so funny. She was always funny, even since the 90s. She was funny. So yeah, I absolutely adore Sammy. Lucas, on the other hand, like I I don't like him. I definitely he's like here somewhere on the upper half, but I don't really love Lucas. I know maybe this is a bit controversial, but when Will was coming out, he was very weird. He was like a very weird dad, even more weird than Sammy. Like Sammy was, she Will said that he was gay and Sammy run away, which was very funny. But Lucas was a bit weirder, and he was like, I don't know, sneaking and talking behind Will's back, and he was clearly a lot more homophobic than Sammy. I think the character evolved, and he had a somewhat decent writing later on, but I don't really like that much. I never really enjoy it. I was never really thriving, and I don't particularly love his pairing with Sammy. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Even in back in the day that I watched a few of the episodes when they were like the couple of the soap, the one that everyone loved and everyone was cherishing and hoping they would get together. They were okay for me, good, but not great. And I think they got paired again recently-ish. I don't maybe in a few years and I haven't. I don't think I have watched when they got paired again, but I don't really have that interest in me. Well, so he will go to like, and now let's talk about a bad character, like a character that I truly dislike, which is Nick Fallon. Well, Nick, I think, is my least favorite character. Maybe the character that I hate the most. He is the villain of Days for me because he is the real villain of the Will and Sonny plot. He is the homophobic character. I think he had some kind of redemption arc later on, but I haven't seen. And what I've seen of him, and he coming back, and all the things he did with to Gabby, and he had already gone to prison, and he like raped Gabby, and he was very homophobic to Will and Sonny. So he's like, in my vision, he's like the homophobic character villain, and I hate him because of this. He's like the villain that I never wanted him to succeed. Like, he, maybe it's something personal because I'm gay, so I don't know, but I absolutely hate him. I don't like him at all. Then let's get more women. Mm, one easy ones like Nicole Walker. I I never liked Nicole. He had like pairings with multiple characters. He had a pairing with EJ that I hate. Had pairing with Eric that I hate, and she's she's always been really annoying for me. She's like that annoying bitch, you know. I have nothing really good to say to her. She is not a character that I was was striving, was excited to see in any moment. She had no plot that I like, so I don't think that dislike is exaggerating. I really just like her. And Sarah is on the same boat. I think Sarah is a character that I hate even more than Nicole. Sarah is like that really boring character and boring plot and boring couple with Xander. I don't think I've enjoyed a single moment with Sarah. I really struggle with her character. I think she's very boring. Nothing against the actress, but the character itself, she's written like this kind of a poor girl who suffers a lot, and she's never giving me anything. She's very boring. I when I usually watch the full episodes, I sometimes skip her scenes. I'm not ashamed to say this. I sometimes skip her scenes. I think she's very boring. She's really boring. And see if I can spot another one that's on the same level. I don't think anyone is on the same level of boringness as they as them. Um, so let's pick a couple that maybe is a little controversial too. So we have the J and J. I think that's the shipping name, the ship name. J and J, which is Jack and Jennifer. They are like a very vintage couple, like from back in the day. And I never connected to them too. I I I think they are boring. I think I there's like a plot that one of them went into coma, and that led to the time skip in 2000 and who knows, 19, I don't know. And I've seen little bits of plots here and there, and they never caught my attention. I don't really like them as a couple. Maybe back in the day when they were younger, maybe they had stronger plots, and I don't know. I simply dislike them. I in I I don't think I have much more to say, but I tend to dislike Jennifer a bit more than Jack for whatever reason. I don't know. And Eric is like on the same boat ish. Oh, I don't like Eric. I think I like him a bit more because he's in the Sammy connection of the family, and I quite like that plot when he was like a priest of some sort. But he when he was paired with Nicole, I absolutely despised every scene. I was very bored. So I'm just gonna throw him in okay because I think really disliked his plots because of Nicole, not because of him itself. I think he had some moments here and there, and he seemed like a rightful person, kinda. So okay, then we have an Abby. Let's get the the two from the Will and Sonny original circle. So Abby and Gabby. Gabby, well, yeah, uh, yeah. I think Gabby goes on We Stand, which is I'm not really surprised that I place her there. And Abby goes to the like. So Gabby is the absolute gray area villainous and kind of stupid character. Like she does a lot of dumb things, but especially this actress. I'm not the biggest fan of the new actress, but especially this actress, Camila Banos. She nailed her that much. She was like doing such good scenes. There are so many fun and good scenes with Gabby. Like her plot when she thought she killed Nick and had to throw her body on the water with Sammy and Kate. That's like this whole arc is like my favorite arc of Days because it they are just really funny. It is like a really funny trio, and Gabby was like a wreck of a character. She was completely mad and doing stupid things and didn't know what to do, and she's like continuously do dumb things, and then she evolved in like some kind of a villainous character, but she still was trying her best to give the best to Ariana, which is her daughter, and I think she is well written at moments, but when she had like the best of her best was when she was paired with Stefan, which, whoa, I really like Stefan. I think Stefan's like the mini EJ. It's really close to Dimitri too, but his chemistry, the actor chemistry with the Gabby's actors was they were perfect. I really really like them. I think they are on the top five favorite favorite couples of Days. I absolutely adore them. I remember when they were developing the couple, and I have really good memories watching the show at the time, the soap at the time, and yeah, I absolutely love Gabby, and I really really like Stefan. Abby, on the other hand, I think she's like a cool character. I like her with Chad, the original actor of Chad, with this Abby was the a bit better. I think they had a good, very good chemistry. But when Billy Flynn got the Chad, he I don't know, they did not match, and the other Abby character, Abby actress was not as good. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan. Abby, she was like a very naive character, and when she was paired with EJ, I adore their pairing because it's so stupid. Like she's being used by EJ, and it's like a plot that proves that EJ is such a bad character. Like he's evil and he is selfish, and yeah, I don't think I really liked her anywhere else. Like she had her moments with Gabby and such, and sometimes supporting Will and Sonny, but yeah, when they changed the actress, and like she had like a multiple personality disorder or something. I don't think I've watched this plot thoroughly. I think I got bits here and there, and I know there's like was a moment that she would pretend to be Gabby, and she thought she was Gabby or something. It was really weird, and I think the character she just got really out of hand and crazy, and the writing was not there. It was definitely not there. Yeah, I don't like her that much. I like her, but not that much. I think she's like on the bottom of the original gang of Will, Sunny, Gabby, Chad, Melanie, and Abby. Maybe she is the one that I like the least. So Chad, I love Chad. I think when Billy Flynn got got the role of Chad, he was like he gave new life to the character, and I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed it way more than when the previous actor that I don't know the name to. And yeah, Chad, I was not the biggest fan of old Chad, the original Chad. I think he was okay-ish, but Billy Flynn completely nails the character. I think he's a very good actor, and has great chemistry with the other actors, mainly with Sonny. They had really great chemistry, and I like them as like buddies, you know. Yeah, and he was like there in most of the plots. His plots with Abby was when she was killed was really was a bit, I don't know, not great. I think I don't really like, and I hate pretty much all the parents that he had after Abby. I think Shabby was like the pairing. I think killing Abby was a really bad choice. I'm not the biggest fan, even if I did not like Abby that much. I think it was not great to kill her, but I still really like Chad. And let's go to. We already talked about Craig, and then we can talk about Nancy because I have not much to say about Nancy, just like I had not much to say about Craig. I think I like Craig a little more because he's gay, of course, and I like gay characters. But Nancy's, she, when I was watching her in the Craig coming out of the closet plot, I really liked her. I think, and she had great chemistry with this actor. Like, I really liked her. I think since she had nothing much to do, she was like a secondary character on the plot, and that's the only plot that I watched with her. I not enjoyed it as much, but I think if I watched her previous episodes, I think she would be on the same tier as Craig probably. I really liked her character, and I really feel like they were a good couple, and I understand why people disliked when they split the couple and made Craig gay. Yeah, I think she's very cute. She's a cute character. Mm, let's go to an OG couple that I have not watched a lot. I've watched like very, very beat here and there. There's not much of them online, but I've read about them a lot, and I've got to watch the latest their later plot on the when they were close to being written off the show. I think it was in 1983 or 82 that they got introduced, and they left the show in 84. And I don't I think the Calliope Calliope, I don't know how to say her name, Calliope, and I think she came back very briefly, but the character of her pair, Eugene, was never brought back. But I quite liked. I think she was very fun character. I really wanted to watch all of her, all of their plots, all of their scenes because they seem like a very good couple, very fun character, and very crazy characters. Like her outfits are extremely iconic. She's extremely iconic. Eugene, on the other hand, I think I would just place him in love because I don't have that much info. You know, I don't think he's quite iconic like Calliope, and but I still the plots that I read with him was they were really funny. He did a time machine or sorts. He seems like a fun character, and I absolutely love the actor. It's the actor of Q from Star Trek, which is one of my favorite characters of Star Trek, and it actually was the reason of why I searched about them and watched a lot of the small scenes that had here and there on YouTube and Internet Archive and such. And I think we got pretty much almost all the Horton Sammy's family circle. So we have Johnny, Demera, and Ellie, which are twins, but from different fathers. Don't ask me how this is possible. And I love Ellie. I think she's like a proto Will. I absolutely adore that she first was the first lesbian couple. She had the first lesbian couple with Chanel. I think she was iconic for doing that, and I liked their couple. And I wish I got more of Ellie. When she was possessed by the devil, and the actress nailed it. I thought it was really fun, and I would not be against her coming back as a regular. I know I think she's been written out like maybe couple of years. I think she left in 2023, but I'm not sure. But I would love for her to come back, and I love her pregnancy plot was a bit okay, was like okay, but her plot with Chanel, I loved her. I love a lesbian representation. Johnny, on the other hand, ooh, I I'm not the biggest fan of Johnny. The one thing I'd say that I quite enjoy about Johnny is that he is a Demera. He has some really shady moments like the Demera are supposed to have, but I don't know if it's the actor, but he does not give me like that good Demera moments. And I will tell you, I absolutely despise his couple with Chanel. I don't think they have that good chemistry. I love Chanel. I think she's a very fun character. She's very funny to watch at moments, but she has really compelling moments. But I don't like her pairing with Johnny. And yeah, I don't know. I don't feel that much for Johnny. Most of the plots, like his recent plot that he he discovered that he was born out of a rape, that EJ raped Sammy and he was born out of the rape. Yeah, that plot was really rough to deal with because it's a really old but important plot to be talked about, because this rape was like one of the pivotal points that people divided and had different opinions, and it got really dark. And I think nowadays this plot would be impossible to exist because we've grown out of this mode that rape is something cool to tie in, especially to pretend that rape was not a big deal. So for them to touch this again, and yet it felt underwhelming. I don't know. It felt underwhelming. I wish they had done more. I think I understand that it's difficult, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, and this is a very Johnny-centered plot that I don't think the actor nor the character itself really got got me anywhere. I think EJ on that plot was a bit more interesting to see because EJ is such a well predictable and evil character that you would be like, well, what will he say and what will he do to try to to fix everything? While Johnny was like there and screaming and mad and sad, and it was not going really anywhere. And even like they had a very recent scene, like a few days from this video, that he talked with Will about this, and And he was like, "Whoa, go boys, give me nothing." Like it was really a really bland scene. I think everything about Johnny, he feels underwhelming to me. Underwhelming is the name. Like he could be like a very evil or very more gray zone character, but he just give me almost nothing, and his couples are boring. So yeah. Um, let's see what are the character that I don't think that maybe you can go to Roman. Roman is was the the father of Sammy. Now where is Roman here? So Roman is the he was the father of Sammy, and I did not watch much of him on the older days, so I just got him when he was like Will's grandfather, and that's it. And he did a few things. He was not like a pointless character, but he did not do that much. I don't have a big connection with Roman. Yeah, I think he did some things that I disliked about Sammy, but well, it's not like we can really defend Sammy sometimes. So, okay, seems fair. Then we have John. Let's bring John and Marlena. Where is Marlena? So, do anyone will place them, not place them in We Stand? Like they are the face of Days. They are the characters of Days. They are the central piece, and having the actor of John died, it was really sad. I confess that I cried when I saw the news. It was really, really sad, and they are they are doing the his death, the character plot right now, and Deidre Hall is like she is nailing everything. The episode, the today episode that I watched had like such heartbreaking scenes. Had like a scene when the it was like in the very end of the episode, and she realized that she had a missing voicemail from John, and she played, and it was like just him saying, "I love you, Doc," which is how he calls her Doc, which is really cute. And she starts crying, and she starts playing that audio again, again, and again, and I that was so real, that was literally what I will do if my absolute soulmate died and sent me a voicemail, and I could listen to his voice again. Yeah, it was really touching. I think Marlena is like the character of Days, and John Black was her perfect pairing. They are absolute end game, and yeah, they have great chemistry throughout the show. I watched a few of of their older moments when I think in the 80s, and they were really good. They were really, really good. I really liked them. Marlena, she had really fun plots, like when she was the original devil possession. She was really good on that plot, and she had like another a multiple plots when she was kidnapped, and Stefano did things to her, and she was like having been a really badass character, but she's like a badass but still centered, and she is like really righteous, and even when they make her do more I don't know, gray area ish things, and do things that are not directly righteous. I think she nails it. She nails doing that in a way that her character still looks like a really good centered character. Pretty much like Sunny, I think they are really really righteous characters, and they are like on the very lawful spectrum of characters, and I really like that about her. And John is on the same vein, but he's not as lawful or righteous, but he's still like a really good character. And yeah, I we will forever miss him. Forever, he will. He was a central piece, and I really liked. He was very accepting of Will when Will came out. He was very accepting of Paul, and that like that scene of the pride party in the Beyond Salem was it's like probably the most cringe scene of all days, but still I loved it. I loved seeing John Black with like a rainbow shirt and all. Um, but we still have a bit of a bunch of characters, and we are already 50 minutes. So I'll try to be a bit quicker. Especially, I don't have much to say about a lot of these characters here. I'll just pick the ones that I have the least to talk about and just quickly place them. Like Eli. Mm, okay, I don't have much opinion on Eli. I liked his pairing with Lenny, I think was her name, but he was okay. The actor is hot. That's it. He was a bit whatever for me. Then we have this is I guess this is JJ, which is Jack Jr., which is Jack and Jennifer's son. I'm trying to think if I have something to say about him. He had like a relationship with this woman, I think. I don't know if the if if the relationship was with this woman or with another older woman, but well, I don't care about him. Whoa, he's very bland for me. The same, this woman was really creepy. I think her name was Eve Donovan. She was a bit creepy. I'm not a big fan of her. Then there is this characters Peter Blake, which I know his name, I know he exists, but I don't know nothing about him. I have this one, which is Daniel Jonas. I think he is something. I haven't placed Melanie yet. Yeah, he's something of Melanie. I don't know if he's like her father or her couple. I literally I remember him. I think I remember him, but I don't know nothing about him. So indifferent. Indifferent is like characters I don't really have an opinion or don't care about or don't know nothing about. Melanie, well, Melanie is a character. She's like the only one remaining from the original OG Sam and Will gang, and well, she is a character. I actually really like her in the plot that she is kidnapped, and Gabby was like trying to break up her break her and Chad up. Whoa, she is such a dumb character. She was very dumb, and she was very funny because of this. I thought she was like the dumb girl character, and I quite like that. I think she was iconic for it. And I don't know what they did to the character later. I think she was written off. I think she comes back, but she for a brief moment, but she was written off, and yeah, I don't know what they did, but I quite liked her when she was on that Gabby plot. She was very funny. And Brady Black. Well, I really dislike Brady. I don't know what is about Brady, but I really hate all his couples. I think I don't hate him with Kristen. I think his pairing with Kristen is like fun. But I think it's because I like Kristen. I really like Kristen, but I don't like Brady. I don't think I quite hate him, but I really dislike him. I usually skip his scenes, and his interactions with Sunny. Not, I don't like him. I don't like him. Yeah, I think he's had an alcohol problem, just like Lucas. I'm not sure. I didn't even comment on the alcohol problem of Lucas. I think his alcohol plot, being alcoholic, is okay. I think it's the best thing of the character. It's the most interesting aspect of the character for me. And Kristen, I absolutely love Kristen. I think she's a great specific villain Dimera that has some redemption arc, but still is just like EJ, a villain most of the time, and do really selfish things and do things to others that it's like you can't really create some excuse or anything. Like they are really evil characters. But I think she's iconic, and I think I really like the new actress. But her previous actress, this one of the on the picture, she's like an icon, like probably the most iconic female character of days. If I'm being honest, she's like very memorable. As much as I really like, I really find Marlena and Sammy iconic. I think Kristen is the iconic female character. She's like so fun. So, and especially because she pretends to be Susan on some scenes. She when the actress was playing Susan, it was really fun. She's like a very good character. Which Susan, yeah, I adore Susan. I think some people find her a bit annoying, and I quite understand why they probably find her annoying. But I love her. I think she's really funny, and sadly, I don't think she's been written recently. But absolutely adore Susan. And well, it is Stephanie. I don't have strong opinions. I find her a bit boring. I don't like her pairings. She basically exists to me. I think she's like the Sarah that I hate a little less. She's very bland for me. I don't like her character. Which other character I don't have? Belly Black. I think she might have when she was paired with Shawn Douglas. She was maybe better, but whoa, I don't I don't have much to say about this character. She was not present when I watched days like on the Sonny and Wilson, the Wilson era of 2012. So, and she was not present when Will had the amnesia plot, I think. But she is very present recently, and she had like a very stupid plot of dating EJ, which is very absurd since she's basically Sammy's sister. So you know that's really stupid, and they had really zero chemistry. So yeah, Shawn Douglas on the other hand, I quite like Shawn. I I haven't seen much of him, but what I've seen, I think he's like a cool dude. He seems like a cool dude. I think the actor is cool. I think his pairing with Belle probably was the best for the character, and I think he had a few other pairings, and I don't have a really strong opinion on him, but I quite like when I see him. I don't despise him, which is like, and I don't feel like skipping the scenes. So I think it's a good thing. Which Sierra? Well, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I was not a big fan of Sierra and Ben when they were a thing, and they were a thing when I was really hooked on the soap, watching like daily. Well, I don't like it. I think this pairing is weird. It's a bit weird, but I don't hate them. I would say I don't hate them. I think was a pair they have some chemistry there. But I think Sierra, I was like, I don't really like her, but I, when I started seeing more and more of her scenes, I think I started liking her a bit. I think I would place her in like, I think some when I first saw the character for like maybe the first month or so, she would be totally on the meh, but now I think she would be on the like. And she's I don't think she ever came back after they written her off. So yeah, she's not a nuisance for me. Ben, on the other hand, is whoa. I don't even know what to say. I completely hate the character, mainly because he killed Will, and they did a very weird redemption arc with him. Really weird, like he's a murderer. What the fuck are they doing? They started creating a bond between them and him and Will. Like this is like so surreal. How can you be friends with the man who killed you? Makes no sense. It really makes no sense. And the weird thing is that when they we're like in the prison together, I kind of liked their scenes, which makes no sense. So I have a really conflicting opinion. I don't know if I hate him or if I like him. So I'll place him in the okay because he will like in some moments he would be on the love, in some moments he would be on the dislike. So I'll just place him like on the middle ground because I don't know how to process this character. The writing is so weird. His interactions are so weird. His father, which is Clyde, whoa, he's like a really evil character and really bad character. I I his interaction with his father and his relationship with Sierra, that started when he was in prison, or maybe when he was being the necktie tailor. I don't even remember, but it was all very weird. And then his friendship with Will was also very weird. Yeah, I don't know. Well, Clyde, I think he's just evil. I hate him. I'll tell you that. Mm, I think I can place Doug and Julie. I'm like I'm not the biggest fan of Doug and Julie. Like meaning I haven't watched most of their plots. They are really vintage characters, and they I think they might have been a very good couple back in the day when in the 80s and such. But they had not much to do on the most of the period that I've watched soaps. But recently, Julie has been one of the characters that I liked most. Like she sadly the actor of Dog died, and they did a really good job portraying that in the show, killing the character. And Julie had a really sad moment, but really beautiful moment, remembering Dog and having this moment to grieve and such. And I really liked her character. I think they are maybe separately. I created some connections with Julie more than I created with Doug. I really one thing that I always cried when watching it are the Christmas episodes and the Christmas that Houghton Christmas thing that they would gather everyone and put the things on the Christmas tree, the ornaments, and may in for me this Christmas thing is Doug and Julie's thing. Like I think of them and they are really wholesome for me because of this. And I think as a couple they are completely iconic. Maybe I like Julie a bit more because of the recent plots, and I think she was a bit more present. I think in the Nick plots and such, but as a couple, I think they are completely iconic. Like they are probably one of the cutest and most wholesome and this idea of family and love, and the lifelong love of Days that I really cherish and really enjoy. The I Rex, I think it's his name. I think this actor played two different characters. I don't know if this is Rex, which is Kate's son, and he was like a medic, I think, doctor. I don't know. I have no opinion on him. I don't. I know. I'm pretty sure that I watch a bunch of his scenes, but I never had anything against and anything to say really about him. I don't even know if he has a pairing. Well, probably he has, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know, and I don't care. I think the same can be said about Trip. I think Trip was a Stephanie pair. If I or am I tripping? It was not an intentional joke. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know, guys. This character is. I feel like I skipped all of his hint. I'm pretty sure that I've watched at least maybe 5 hours of this character, and I can't say a single thing about him. I think I in this moment that I watch Days and I'm like doing all the things, and I watch the whole episode, but when there's a trip scene, I just look away. I think that's what happens because I don't have nothing to say about him. And where's Kate? I did not place Kate yet. Well, Kate, yeah, I quite like Kate. I think Kate is very iconic. I think she is like the this gray area of character too, and I quite enjoyed it when she had that plot with that, like I said, the plot with Gabby and Sammy burying, throwing Nick's body on the river. But she also had great moments with Will and Sunny, and she's done really bad things with Sunny, and she is being a bit of a bitch sometimes, which is interesting. I like this more complex character. They are not either evil or good. They are like gray area. I quite like them, and I think she's like on the she is not like a gray area like Sammy. Sammy clearly is a good character, but she does bad things trying to do the good thing. While Kate is like a more evil inclined character. She does really selfish things sometimes. She has a good heart, but she will fuck you up if you try to do bad things to her or people that she cares about. I think she's a great character, and she being a pair of Stefano is kind of iconic. I don't know. I quite like her, and I like her position. I like a lot of her scenes. And speaking about Stefano, well, how can you not stand Stefano? He is like the perfect villain. He is the villain of Days. They will never create another villain. I think he is one of the faces of Days. I think he, just like Malena and John, are like the good side face of Days, the characters that you think about when you think about Days. Stefano is the evil face of Days. When you think about a bad character, a evil villain in a soap, he is one of the first characters that probably comes to mind. And I have seen a bit of older scenes, but he was somewhat present in the OG Wilson. And like there's like the plot who murdered Stefano and such, and he would always resurrect. And I thought it was really a fun character to watch and a fun villain to watch. He was like doing such evil things for nothing. He was like a mad evil character. That thing he did with Hope, like she has like a chip in her brain that turns into the that other version that I don't even remember. I think she was like a painter or something. It's Princess Gina. It was like one of these evil, weird, random things that he would do and do like I think like he would like crash Marlena's plane and trap her in a desert island. And like he was like such a somewhat goofy but still iconic villain. So I think Stan is nowhere to place him if not Stan. Hope. I think it's one of the things that similar to Nancy. I think Hope was a character that I would like if I had watched in the older era and watched her like in the 90s and such. But what what I got of Hope while watching recently and such, she's like she had no plot. When she was Princess Gina again, I thought she was really fun. But then there's it. Like I think Princess Gina is like the best thing about Hope and her relationship with Bo. They seem like a very good couple. But again, I did not see them as a couple in the best era of their couple, like in the same kind of way that I saw other couples. Like I I I don't know. I don't think I can place her anywhere up than like I think she and I think Bo is basically the same. I like Bo, what I've seen of Bo, but again, I think I even like him a bit more than Hope, but I cannot place him more than like because I don't feel like I've seen even if I've seen a few scenes here and there on YouTube and such, but I don't feel like I really got like I don't know. It did not hit to me. It did not hit. They did not hit as a couple. I did not connect as much, and I'm not even sure well if they have a really good chemistry or not because I feel like they did really poor writing with them. Even and Bo was dead for like a long time I think, or maybe he was written out. I don't know. I think when OG Wilson was happening, they were not a couple. I think Bo was not alive or not in Salem. I don't know. But yeah, it's my take. We have just a few characters. It's Adrienne Johnson, which is Sonny's mom. I'm gonna be honest, I never liked Adrienne. I think she was a complete bitch when she tried to split Wilson, and she took really a long time to for her redemption arc, and then they killed her. And I'm not even the biggest fan of her redemption arc. I think she was very bad written. I think I can place her in okay, but even when she was like good, already good, I was not really buying her being that good. I think her her redemption arc was not strong enough for me, and she was just really she had prejudice against Will just because of Sammy. Like her problem was with Sammy, not Will. I know that later on maybe Will did some things that it could justify, but at the moment when Will started dating Sunny, she had no reason to be such a bitch to Will, and she did, and I never got really past that. And I think she got okay later on, but yeah, and she died, so whatever. And then Bonnie appeared, and I think I like Bonnie a bit more. I think she's fun. I mean, she's funnier and more fun to watch than Adrian has ever been. But again, sh- she when she married Justin was really weird because then I see her and Adrian as the same character now, which was not the case. I think Bonnie is very different than Adrian. It's very different, and they are not writing. them as different anymore. I think it's a bit strange, to be honest. But I quite like her now. Then we have this, which is either Andre or Tony. Uh, I'm not really sure about their plots. I think they exist. I think I've seen their scenes, some of their scenes, but I would not know what to say about this character. I think they are more vintage, Demera. I don't think they really appear that much in the period that I watched. I'm not sure. Go to indifferent. Then we have Justin. Well, I love Justin, but I think maybe I think he was quite an old character, yeah. And I would probably like him better if I have watched in him back in the day. And probably the same could be said about Adrian. I'm not sure, but I really liked Justin. I think he's like a good father, and it's so funny because I really see how him and Sonny are really alike. He's like they did it very well. Like he really feels like Sonny really feels like his son. Like he got a lot of his attributes and his lawfulness and his loyalty, and I really liked it. I really like him. Sadly, I don't think they have done enough with him. I think his plots with Bonnie were really bad. I don't like their pairing. I think it's very weird. I think, but when Adrian died, the actor mainly did a very good job portraying that grief in their scenes with he his scenes, and especially his scenes with Sonny were very emotional. I really liked him. So yeah, Love. I think Love is a very good placement for him. Maybe I'm really tempting to put an iconic, but I think it's more on the Love. Well, I'm gonna say I don't have much to say about Steve, but I don't know. I think it's his eye patch. I think he's like really iconic, and I quite like him with Kayla, but I don't quite like Kayla that much as I like him, and it's probably because I find his eye patch iconic. I think that's it. But I really like them as a couple, and I think if I had seen them younger, I think he would probably be on the stem. I feel like they would be much higher. But since I have not seen them that much, and I don't feel like recently they've done that much with him. He's like more detective kind of character, and he seems to be more lawful, kinda. I don't know. I see them as more like a chill couple, but I really like them. Really like them, but I like him a little bit better, and I think he's like very iconic. Like the thing is, the eye patch is so iconic that you when you see him, you it got it the image got gets stuck in your mind when you think of Days of Our Lives. When I think of Days of Our Lives, I think of Marlena, John Black, Stefano, and Steve because of the eye patch. It's such a iconic thing. Yeah, and Kyla is fun. I think she's like a cool character, and she hasn't done that much on the scene that I've seen, the period that I've seen. She was always there, like she was supporting. She's like the doctor and such. And I like her a lot. I would definitely place her in love, but I don't have that much to say. I think we have very few. Okay, so this who is Tony and who is Andre? I have no idea. Both are going to indifferent. And we have Rafe. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Rafe. I think Rafe is okay. I don't hate him. I quite like a lot the actor. I really like the actor a lot. But the character itself, I don't think that he ever had a pairing that I liked. When he was paired with Sammy, he was like, I was like, uh, I don't know, guys. And I don't know, Sammy really used him and did dirty. Like, whoa, it was not good to watch him suffering. He was like being such a stupid dude, falling in love with Sammy and trying to do things for Sammy when you know that Sammy would ditch him for EJ or Lucas or both at the same time. Yeah, and I like his relationship, his brother love for Gabby, and that's it. I'm not the biggest fan of Reef, to be honest. I don't hate him, but yeah, I don't have really strong feelings about him. Abe, I don't. Yeah, I quite like Abe. I think Abe is like this, similar to Kayla. I think I like him. I don't have much to say, but he was like always there, and he's like this rightful person, lawful person, and he is in his relationship with Lexi was really touching for me. I really like them as a couple. I think I would place or take Lexi here too, and I like his current relationship. I think it's Paulina, the name. She's not as good as Lexi, but I quite like. I think he's a necessary character to be like the law rightful person, and but I think they could do more with him. Maybe they did things with him and I haven't seen, but what I've seen of him, I think I really like the character. I think he's a very good character. He's like a character that I like to see the scenes, but I don't have that much to say. And Lexi, it's similar. I I think I watched a bit of her scenes after I see her death scene because I got really interested in the character. I think she was like a Dimera, and she had like that connection with EJ, and I find it really interesting. And when I saw her death scene, her death episode, I was like, oh my god, I need to see more of this character, and I search a few scenes and I read about her a lot, and I would like to watch more of her. I think her death scene was really touching. I remember I cried when I watched it, and I had like no that big connection to the character, so I really liked it. In fact, well. Though we have Victor Kyriakis, I'm not sure if he was ever maybe when in the 80s or maybe older. I don't know. Maybe he was likable, more likable. I really dislike Victor. I think he is like a villainous old character. Like he feels like that grandpa that would probably say like a slur, and I don't know. He would probably like be very homophobic, even though that he is not exactly homophobic in this in the soap. I don't think he is. He's maybe he was a bit homophobic. I don't know, but he feels like he would be. He feels like the character feels like bad and evil, and he would not help if you ask for help. And I find it a bit intimidating, even when it was really sad when the actor died and such. And I feel like he was maybe written this way to be more like a villain character, but not exactly villain. But I still don't like him. I really hated when he appeared. I find it was a bit, I don't know, a bit annoying. Not exactly annoying, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't really don't really understand the character maybe. because I haven't watched that much of his older stuff, and in the later stuff, the Wilson era, he was not that present. Xander, this is Xander, right? Yeah, I think this is Xander. Well, I quite like. No, I don't. I think I quite like Xander. I find like his interactions with Leo when he first appeared was they were really funny moments, but his relationship with Sarah is so annoying. I don't even think they have like that great chemistry. Like they are not that good of a couple, but I think the actor is very charismatic, and I think the character is a bit charismatic. Well, but I, I, oh, I don't know. I kind of have conflicting feelings. I think I would put him in, and he's like a very gray area character, just like the most of the Demera. He has done a really shady things. I think he will go to like for now. Then we have. I'm not placing this later on. I'll just place this row. This I can even see this. I'm just going to place like Dr. Wolf from up here. I'm not placing this. These ones I'm not sure who they are exactly, and they were on the tier list originally. So this one I think it's Philip Kiriax. I think he appeared with another actor, and I don't like what appeared with the other. I don't really liked him with the scenes with the other actor. I think the he seemed like a kind of a douche. I don't know if with this actor I don't remember seeing any scenes with him. Maybe I have, but I don't remember. But basing the character, the thoughts that I have about the character with the newer actor, I think he would go to Meh. And Maggie, I again, I'm not sure if maybe if I watch her earlier stuff, but it's a character that I don't like at all. I think she's quite boring to watch, especially she was aired with Victor that I did not enjoy. In all her plots, that she did things like the she killed. I think I don't really remember it. No, I don't think she really killed Adrian. I think they then she was drugs or I'm blinking. I'm kind of foggy about it, but that at some moment in the Adrian died plot, they framed Maggie, and I thought she was like a dumb, very dumb and annoying character at the moment when in that plot. And I've not seen that much of her. I've seen some scenes, but she always is had things with Sarah, and I really dislike Sarah. So maybe she's just maybe I don't really hate her. I'll place her in meh, but I maybe it's because of the characters that she interacts most with and her whole plots and scenes than the character itself. I don't think maybe I don't really hate her. I don't really just don't understand. I don't quite understand. Maybe if I watch the older plots and when she was in the 80s or in such, but from what I've watched, I don't like her. Yeah, it is in Caroline. I think she is like the grand grandma grandma of Will. She appeared very few because the actress died when in the OG Wilson. So that's the only connection I have with her. But she seemed like a very cute character. She seemed like a grandma or great grandma that I would love to have, and she was really supporting of Will and Sonny. So I don't think she goes to iconic because I have no big things to say to her because I think I've only seen this scene. Maybe I have seen her in other scenes, but I don't remember. But I didn't know it was her. She seems like a great character overall. Gwen, which is Leo's best, use it to be because I'm seeing the Leo with Dimitri and Gwen plot nowadays. I've watched like a lot of episodes today even, and she is a very fun character. I think she's like a. I really liked her friendship with Leo. It's sad that what Leo did to her was unforgivable. I think she was very right to cut ties with Leo after that, and I quite liked her pairing with Zenda. If I don't know if I prefer her alone or with Xander. I don't know if it was really like I'm shipping them. I want them to be together, but I quite liked her interactions and their interactions, and I think she's a very fun character. I think she's like very similar to Gabby for me. She's like that gray area that sometimes do dumb things, but you know that she will fuck you up if you get in her way. And yeah, I really enjoyed her friendship with Leo when it existed. Yeah, I really liked her. And we have Alex. Whoa, I'm not a fan of Alex at all. I think he is his relationship with Stephanie. I know he was with another girl that I don't remember who, and then he got with Stephanie, or maybe that girl he was with Stephanie and he was then with the other girl. I I don't like him. I think his scenes with Leo are funny, but he is kind of annoying and he's like a kind of a douche. He's like Xander, but without Xander funny and sometimes witty things, and he is not exactly a villain, or he's like sold more like some sort of good character that sometimes have tantrums and do some shady things that are not that shady. I he is really weird for me. I don't I don't quite enjoy it, and I have Ben Weston in my mind when I see this actor. I can't really connect him with Alex like a new character. I really see Ben, so I have a really difficult time with this character. And his scenes with Sonny, the new Sonny, uh, they are not it for me. They are not great. Maybe the writing is bad. I don't know, but he's not it for me. And finally, I purposely left Wolf as the last one. Dr. Wolf is iconic. We totally stand Rolf. How can you not stand? He's like an almost inexistent character that simply is there for plot reasons. They need to resurrect the characters. They need the characters to have some kind of disease and some syrup and and a a cure needs to appear magically, and Wolf is there to do that. I find this very fascinating. I find this character really funny to exist. Like, come on, they will never do. Maybe I never really searched about him. Maybe they did something with him back in the days, in the 70s, 80s, and such. I'm not sure, but so far since like the OG Wilson and so on, he basically existed to resurrect characters and give random serums and cure some diseases or do or make a disease exist and that kind of stupid things. And I find that iconic. I think he's an iconic character. And that's it. That's my final Days of Our Lives tier list. This video was very long. I knew it would be very long. And I absolutely adore Days of Our Lives. I don't think it's like peak television. I think it's a bit on the guilty pleasure campy side of things. Maybe back in the OG Wilson era or in the somewhere in the 90s, in the 80s, maybe a it was better. It was more fleshed out, had more budget. Nowadays, it's just a silly little show that I've watched so much of, and that created such a bond with the characters that I kind of have this cozy feeling for. And even though that I don't enjoy all the characters, I I still really like this universe, and I'm I'm happy that I'm able to even after 10 years, more than 10 years, I still can see the characters that I love, like Will that just came back to the show in May 2025, and see how the character is being. It feels like I've grown together with the characters. It's very weird to watch a show that exists since the 1960s. But it's a I think it's a niche thing to like, especially outside of the United States. But I'm very happy that I've watched it and it means a lot to me. So thanks for watching.